Welcome to the Tea Party. The most unexpected lesson touring teaches you has nothing to do with music at all. Welcome to the Tea Party. My name is Tierra Monique, touring DJ, live music and performance curator, and just all-around music lover, but especially R&B. We talking all things music, performance, creativity, and the culture behind it. Let's get into it. Today we talking about touring and what people think it is versus what it actually teaches you. You know, most people think touring is about performing, traveling, crazy crowd, and backstage parties, but the real lesson, discipline and emotional endurance. The biggest lesson I've learned. Touring will definitely expose your habits, your mindset, and how you show up when you're tired, uncomfortable, and still expected to perform. And it's going to teach you a lot about your character traits as well. So let's get into it. Let's do it. The biggest problem I see is that a lot of people just glamorize touring. However, they're not really prepared for the reality of the lifestyle. And I was definitely one of those people. All I know is I wanted to be on the road, doing shows, meeting people, and performing in front of crowds in cities that I never thought that I would ever even see, let alone go to and perform in front of thousands of people. So that's all I was mentally prepared for. I wasn't prepared for the lack of sleep. I wasn't prepared for, you know, certain places not having certain foods that you eat to recoup your body, or, you know, just dealing with the attitudes of different people in different venues, and dealing with yourself and knowing yourself and knowing that you have to have some type of patience and you just got to tap into different character traits to get through touring with a bunch of people who have a common interest but different personalities. You know, touring isn't just about the stage, it's about everything around it. You're dealing with lack of sleep, constant movement, different environments, and still expected to be on every night. And that requires a lot of mental discipline, not just talent. And it's different for me because I don't tour on a bus. So when the show is over, I don't take a shower at the venue and then just get on the bus so we can go to sleep. No. When the show is over about 12:30, 1 o'clock, we going back to the hotel, take a shower, get our stuff together, and then we probably got to be downstairs, lobby call, headed to the airport by 5 a.m. Sometimes earlier than that because the flight is at 5 a.m. So there's no sleep in between the last show and the travel for the next show. So you got to be up, you got to be alert, ready to go to security, get through these planes. You know, we falling asleep at the gate, then we got to get on the plane. You fall asleep on the plane, but it might not be a long enough ride for you to actually, you know, knock out on. So then it's Saturday morning finally, and we get to our destination because, mind you, if I'm lucky enough, I'll have 2 shows on the weekend, God willing. So we get to the next destination, land there, get to the hotel, go to sleep. So it's not like where I'm just on a bus and we're going city to city and we're sleeping through the night. No, we up. So I had to learn how to relax during the week and reset during the week and do the things that I needed to prepare my body for during the week so that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm ready and I'm on and I'm not feeling sluggish and sick. So your habits travel with you, good or bad. Flights delayed, no real meal if sound checks off, but the crowd does not care about that. You still have to deliver. The audience sees the performance, not the process. That's why I try and do the behind the scenes so I could actually show people the in-depth process of what we're going through before we hit these stages. But we're still, you know, giving them an A1 show every single night, 200%, tired or not, headache or not, cycle or not. Ladies, y'all know, because if you cramping on stage, you got to perform whether you cramping or not. So I pop a little ibuprofen and I get right to it. Consistency off stage, though, creates excellency on stage. So like I said, once again, the audience sees the performance, not the process. So your solution would be to create routines, protect your energy, and stay grounded in who you are. Consistency off stage is going to create excellence on stage. There's been plenty of times where I've had planes canceled, planes delayed. We're getting there right before doors open. No rest. I'm talking about no rest in the last 40 to 48 hours. Sometimes 3 days, depending on what we're working on and what we're working with, if it's really delayed and if DT doing that shit. But that's besides the point. But there's been plenty of times where I haven't slept, or the hotel is not ready when we get there. So we lounging in the lobby, taking a nap at the little desk, or, you know, or we go straight to the venue from the plane and we just rest in the dressing room and then sound check and get right to it. But the crowd will never know. And that's professional, baby. Touring will teach you who you really are when nobody's making it easy for you. So I want to know, what do you think would be the hardest part about touring for you? Let me know.